Hello, and a big warm welcome to Straight4ward Science. Whether it be your passion for science and knowledge or your school homework bringing you here, welcome. We are going to smash science together. This channel is aimed to help you understand key scientific topics, whether that's to help you with your school or university exams, or just to quench your thirst for knowledge. You are in the right place. In this video, we are going to look at cells. And no, that doesn't mean a prison cell. Remember, science has different definitions for different words to what we might use in everyday life. A cell in biology means a basic building block, so it's what everything's made up of. For example, we are made of cells. In GCSE science, there's an experiment looking at plant and animal cells under a microscope. And the animal cells that we often use for this experiment are cheek cells. This video is the last of our trio of videos on cells. In the past two videos, we have discussed animal cells and plant cells. In this video, we are going to discuss bacterial cells. Bacterial cells are slightly different to plant and animal cells as they do not contain a nucleus. The first organelle we are going to look at in a bacterial cell is the flagellum. We have not yet come across the flagellum in a plant or animal cell. The flagellum is like a little tail which allows the bacterial cell to move. The next organelle we are going to look at is the cell membrane. We have encountered this before in both animal and plant cells. The cell membrane is semi-permeable, meaning it only allows certain substances inside the cell. Remember, it's like a bouncer. The next organelle is the cell wall. Once again, we have encountered this in the plant cell. Its function is exactly the same as that in a plant cell. The cell wall is the outer layer, giving the bacterial cell its rigid structure. The word rigid means that the shape of the bacterial cell cannot be changed, so it constantly remains that oval type shape. The next organelle we are going to discuss is chromosomal DNA. This is similar to the nucleus, however, in this case, the DNA is free to float around the cytoplasm and is not contained in a nucleus. This is normally represented as a squiggly circle. The next organelle is a plasmid. Plasmids also contain DNA, however, plasmids are quite special as they can move from one bacterial cell to another bacterial cell. Plasmids are represented by small circles. The next two organelles and last two organelles we are going to talk about in a bacterial cell should already be familiar to us. The cytoplasm, remember that's the jelly-like organelle where chemical reactions happen, and ribosomes, where protein synthesis occurs. Remember, protein synthesis means proteins are made. In summary, the chromosomal DNA is represented by that squiggly line and DNA can float in the bacterial cell. The flagellum is represented by a squiggly tail-like structure and allows the bacteria to move. The plasmids or plasmid DNA are just small circles within the cytoplasm. And remember, they contain DNA, but this DNA can move from bacterial cell to bacterial cell. The next is the cytoplasm. Remember, this isn't really represented by anything other than empty space. This is where chemical reactions happen. Next are ribosomes, which is where protein synthesis happens, and these are represented by small dots. Next, our cell wall. Our cell wall is our outer layer, our outer line on our oval shape, and this is what keeps the bacterial cell that oval shape because it's rigid. Remember, it cannot change into a different shape. And lastly, our cell membrane. Our cell membrane, remember, is like a bouncer deciding what comes in and out of the cell, and that is represented by our inner layer, our inner line. So in summary, the 3 new organelles that we have not yet come across in animal and plant cells are chromosomal DNA, flagellum and plasmid. We are now experts on animal, plant and bacterial cells for GCSE. However, in order to better our understanding and knowledge, we need to discuss 2 new terms. These terms are essential when we talk about cells. The terms are eukaryotic and prokaryotic, and these are used to describe whether or not the cell contains a nucleus. The word eukaryotic means the cells contain a nucleus. Therefore, we would use this term to describe plant cells and animal cells. I do a little rhyme when I think about eukaryotic. I rhyme EU with true, meaning a eukaryotic cell is a true cell and a true cell contains a nucleus. And the next term is prokaryotic, which, you've guessed it, is used to describe a cell that doesn't have a nucleus. Just because the cell does not have a nucleus, though, does not mean it doesn't have DNA. So we would describe our bacterial cell as prokaryotic, as it has loose DNA in the form of chromosomal DNA and plasmids. Now, time for our knowledge test on cells. Please pause the video and try and complete the following copy and complete task. Let's check our answers. An animal cell is a eukaryotic cell and contains a nucleus, cell membrane, cytoplasm, mitochondria and ribosomes. A plant cell is a eukaryotic cell and contains a nucleus, cell membrane, cytoplasm, mitochondria, ribosomes, vacuole, chloroplast and cell wall. Remember, those are 3 extra organelles we add onto our plant cell compared with our animal cell. And lastly, a bacterial cell is prokaryotic cell and contains chromosomal DNA, cell membrane, cell wall, ribosomes, cytoplasm, plasmid DNA and a flagellum. How well did you do? If you want to test yourself again, please just rewind the video and do so. Alternatively, we now have a website which contains a variety of resources on cells for you to download. All of these resources are free of charge, so please head over to the website. Our link for our website is in the bio. Thanks ever so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and remember, comment below for any topics you would like us to cover in our next video. See you next time.